It's not what we voted for. We don't want your stinking war. It's not what we voted for. We don't want your stinking war. It's not what we voted for. We don't want your stinking war. We don't want your stinking war. It's not what we voted for. We don't want your stinking war. It's not what we voted for. We don't want your stinking war. It's not what we voted for.
We know that a majority of people in this country oppose this escalation in Afghanistan. We know a majority of these people in this country want the troops home now. They don't want to send more. They don't want another 30,000. They don't want to make this war, the escalation, be the legacy of the Obama administration. So we're out here to raise our voices, to be a visible sign of the opposition to this war policy.
I'm Harvey Thorstead, past president of Veterans for Peace, Chapter 72 here in the Portland area. I'm a commander, U.S. Navy, retired. Vietnam vet. I was advisor in Vietnam for a year. I know what it's about. This escalation going in Afghanistan, it's deja vu. Been there, done that, slippery slope. 30,000 more now. Then the things won't be going so well. Another 10,000, another 20,000. And things aren't going so well. Withdrawal time comes. Well, things aren't going so well. We can't really do it right now, and so it goes. We are going the wrong direction. It's time to get out now. Now, with Vietnam, with Iraq, and Afghanistan, I've been saying it over and over again for years. There's no easy way out. Get out now before it gets worse. Almost every day it does exactly that. It gets worse. Obama says, hey, what, another 30 billion just to fund this current little escalation? We call on our congressmen, our senators, don't fund this. You've got the first strings. Cut them off.
Right on.
Help Obama do the right thing. Get out. Stop this. There was a fellow named, I believe, Matthew Ho, a little while back. It was in Afghanistan. Prominent civil servant working. He resigned. He says about all we're doing over there is providing recruiting for the insurgents. They're growing faster than we can kill them off. I don't want any part of this. It's just bad news. So I thank you all for coming. Keep up the good work. Write your congressman. Do what you can. Let's get out of this mess.
I'm Jenny Cordes, and I'm with Vancouver for Peace. I am also chair of our Peace and Justice team of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Vancouver. Peace is in my heart. You know, Obama said he would bring more troops into Afghanistan, and frankly, I'm proud I did not vote for him. I did not vote for war. You know, we need to think about independent candidates, because I tell you, the Democrats and the Republicans are messing with peace for the world. You know, and they're dickering about health care reform. Now, Obama did say he would try to get that into place, but they talk about the money for that. How uncompassionate they are. Look at all the money we're going to be spending in Afghanistan. We're in debt up to our noodles, and I want these wars to stop. I want the troops to go home. I am a conscientious objector, but they don't want me. But anyway, it's good to see all my peace friends here. I love you all. Peace now.
I'm John Schweibert, pastor of Metanoia Peace Community United Methodist Church. I'm here with other members of our congregation. I would say to grieve. I look upon this as something of a memorial service, because we're not only grieving the direction that things are going, but we're grieving the loss of democracy.
Right.
When we recognize that even our elected leaders are not able to do what needs to be done and what the people demand. But you know, there's another aspect of grief. Sometimes you can grieve something. Well, we usually think of grieving as being when there was something that is gone, it's lost, and we grieve that. But you can also grieve something that has never been, that needs to be. And so that is part of what we grieve, the fact that the nation is still unable to see the complete futility of war, and to realize that the myth of redemptive violence, the myth that you can solve a problem by killing some other people, is just that, it's a myth. And so our prayer in our grief is that this greater future will be on the horizon now or later, but soon.
I'm Becca from the International Socialist Organization. I'm also part of Students United for Palestinian Equal Rights at PSU. And I came here tonight because I think that it's absolutely appalling that we have a president who's willing to escalate the war in Afghanistan. I think that I've been a part of the student anti-war movement for a while. I was part of Campus Anti-War Network almost from its very beginning. And I've seen lots of my brothers and sisters go over there to fight in Afghanistan. And I think that escalating the levels of troops there is only going to exacerbate the problem. It's not going to make anything better for ordinary Afghanis. And I'm very excited to see such a large crowd here tonight out protesting. I'd also like to announce that there's going to be a meeting on PSU's campus for students and anybody else who's opposed to the war in Afghanistan. It's called Afghanistan Obama's Vietnam, and it's on Thursday, December 10th at 7 p.m.
I've been making many calls for the WTO, the anti-WTO march that's coming up on Saturday the 5th. And as I called people, a couple of people said to me, marches don't do anything. And as I've been thinking about this, they do something. When you take one of us on, you take all of us on. And it's very important that you talk to your neighbors and the people you work with. Get them at these marches. Remember, Nixon was quivering in his shoes as the Vietnam War was rolling along. And I also think we do need to bring back the draft. But I'm with Jobs with Justice, and remember, we need to stick together and bring everybody to these kinds of demonstrations.
Well, it's a good sign when you can't get to the bullhorn because there's so many people in front of you.
Right.
I want to echo what Becca said. I think this turnout is an awesome turnout, especially given how chilly it is. I think it's a reflection of the signs of the times that we're living in, and we're going to need a lot more folks taking a stand for the righteous fight, which I think we have in front of us. I think Obama's, speech, really what I found used a lot of rhetoric and tried to tap into people's sense that we're all in this together because of the attacks of 9/11. And I think we have a lot of work to do to really educate our coworkers and our family and our friends that that's not our rhetoric, that's not our history, that's not what brings us together. What brings us together is looking out for each other and changing an economic system that is benefiting from this war, and that's capitalism. So I'm hoping that in addition to the organizing that people are doing against this war, that you're also talking about what do we get out of capitalism? Who benefits? And let's start talking about an alternative, which is socialism. I think we need to start talking about what our solution is, not just what the problems are.
I want to say just a couple things. One is that I think that President Obama has betrayed the rank and file of people who are Democratic Party members. The polling data shows that a majority of Americans oppose the escalation of Afghanistan, and 2/3 of registered Democrats do. So he's not speaking for the Democratic rank and file when he's doing what he's doing now. And then the second thing I just want to say is that I think we have to stand up against the idea of imperial occupation here. a lie in the speech that he gave last night that I think we have to pay particular attention to, which is the idea that we will be getting out of Afghanistan in whatever it is, a year and a half. What he said is that we will start to. So that means he'll take 10 people out, but we're looking at an occupation here that will go on for years and years and years unless we stand up to make it stop. So we all have to pull together as progressives wherever we do that work and work to make this thing stop and not let it go forward.
I ran against David Wu back in November '08 in this district. And there were 7,000 of you who came out and supported me. What I'm looking for are people who want to oppose what's going on, to come forward and to establish yourselves, to
speak loudly and close.
To think about becoming a candidate, whether it's the Progressive Party, the Green Party, the Independent Party. We can now do some cross nominations and we can support each other. So there's a good reason for you to start to consider becoming a candidate and oppose these people, at least to get the message out there and, you know, to bring the politics that you feel in your heart should be put forward, to get it on the table. Because if we don't come out there, if we don't step up to the table, then these guys are going to get a free ride when it comes to election time. And it's time to stop giving them the free ride.
We've been marching, rallying, writing letters, emails, and making phone calls for 8 years and more. And we're still not kind of really getting a whole lot, okay? So I'm going to advise, I'm hoping that people are going to take this another step forward. Put your bodies on the line any chance you get. That means risking arrest. Do it. The other thing is, I'm a war tax resistor, and I'd like to encourage you to grow a pair, okay? I said that the other day, and I mean it. Grow a pair and step into war tax resistance. That means redirecting your taxes away from Congress, which is misallocating them, misapplying them, okay? Check into it. It's a good thing to do. This year we're going to reallocate, we're going to redirection to another veterans group, probably Coffee Strong. I hope you've heard of them, because if it weren't for the GI movement, I don't think we would have gotten rid of the war in Vietnam, among other things. That was one very good thing. We got to redirect this country, and we're not going to do this until we redirect the money that gets misspent on crap instead of us.
A week from tomorrow, Obama is going to Geneva to receive the Nobel Peace Prize, where it will be bestowed upon him. And unfortunately, on the way there, yes, he made a major escalation in a war that has now become his for certain.
You and I are both the same. We are all one people. Open hearts and open minds. We want to be peaceful. We all live in one big world. All the boys and all the girls. You and I are both the same. We are all one people.